Hi, and welcome to this walkthrough of Time Studio. In this short video, we'll cover the most important features of the software so you can get started right away. You'll learn how to make time tracking so much easier. If Time Studio is installed on your Windows PC, a small icon should appear in the tray in your taskbar. Double-click on this icon to open Time Studio. The first thing you'll see is the timeline. This is where you add time entries. You can move to a different day by using the up and down arrows, by using the scroll wheel, or by using the calendar on the left. The timeline is empty for now, because it hasn't captured any computer usage yet. Let's keep Time Studio running in the background for a while and then come back. We've worked for a while now, and the timeline shows a colored bar, visualizing the programs, websites and documents we've used so far. Let's have a closer look at what we did on Monday at 9 a.m. for example. By hovering over the colored bar, we noticed that we were using Chrome and visited the backend of our client's website. A little later we were using Visual Studio, working on their website project. Let's create a time entry, or an activity as it's called in Time Studio. For this, position the mouse in the top part of the timeline, when the cross cursor appears. At the starting position, start dragging your cursor to create a new entry matching the time belonging to this activity. Now fill in the details. Let's call this activity Web Development. Made a mistake? No worries. You can easily resize, rename or delete activities. In the background, Time Studio's algorithm is now hard at work, matching other computer usage with the same activity. If it's reasonably sure this activity occurs at other times as well, activity suggestions appear on the timeline. In this case, there are two. These seem to be correct. You can right-click the activity and select Approve. Or just hold the Control key while clicking. Let's add another activity. This was a meeting with our client. Now I can just double-click on the end time in the timeline, and a new activity will be created with a start time equal to when the last activity ended. I'll call it Meeting, and because I've used this name before I can just select it from the autocomplete list. Now, let's say I want to organize my activities. Meeting and Web Development belong together, because they are both linked to the same client. We could rename each activity separately, to make that clear. But there's a faster way to do it. Let's go to the Overview tab. We can rename Meeting to Client1.Meeting. Likewise, we rename Web Development to Client1.WebDevelopment. Notice by doing so, that you create an activity group called Client1 with two sub-activities. We can change the color of this group by right-clicking on it. Let's go back to our timeline, and notice how all occurrences of our activities have been adjusted. In the meantime, Time Studio has also found other suggestions. The longer you use Time Studio, the smarter it gets. Let's approve them all. There are still some gaps in our timeline. For example, this Zoom meeting was a training about sales skills. We'll call it education.sales. Or let's rename it to Sales Skills. And approve the suggestion. Oh, here we were using social media and YouTube. We'll label this as distraction. And see how Time Studio suggests that we were distracted at other times as well. Now, let's visualize how we've spent our time. Go to the Report tab. Here you can make a wide variety of charts and timesheets. Time Studio is showing us a bar chart per activity group by default. But we can change that. Let's see how much time we've spent per month. In the Groups and Filters panel, let's set the X-axis option button to month. There we go. You can use the controls on the left to create different kinds of charts like pie charts and timesheets, and use the filters and other options to get the exact information that you want. Thanks for watching. We hope that you've learned more about Time Studio, and that time tracking will no longer be an annoying task, but a valuable part of your routine. Go to timestudio.pro to download the software and learn more.